Might as well go to my New York Giants and the NFC East in totality. For the New York Giants, it's quite simple. It's Darren Waller. This guy has no business to be drafted as late as he is right now, especially going off the board as the tight end 7, and he's going in I think it is the 6th round. Yeah, middle of the 6th round. Personally, in all of my mock drafts, I've been attempting to get him at that 5-6 turn, because if I can, then I know I have my tight end position settled. I don't know if you guys all follow the Giants. Clearly not as much as I do, but every single report out of Giants training camp is that he is Daniel Jones's number 1 guy, getting all the targets. Nobody else is seeing the ball nearly as much as Darren Waller is. Here's my thing. Can you get a guy with top 3, or even potentially, just saying, I'm throwing it out there, if he's healthy for the entirety of the season?
Don't say he's going to be 1.
He could be 2.
Darren Waller can be tight end 1 in fantasy football. I'm just throwing it out there.
I could see 2.
It's tough.
I think the ceiling for him is 1.5. There's no way he's 1.
I
think it's 2
to get a guy, but regardless, get a guy like that in the 6th round, the 2nd best tight end in fantasy football, if he could stay healthy, like,
no, I agree. I picked Darren Waller too.
Absolutely, I'm going for that.
Did we all have Waller?
I think
I picked Jalen Hyatt,
which is also a great
Darren
pick.
Waller is someone that I'm trying to draft though in the middle of the 6th round. But Jalen Hyatt, he's a guy who you take with your last pick in the draft. He's been very impressive in training camp. They're all raving about how fast this man is. They say he strides like Usain Bolt.
He's clocked in at 24 plus miles per hour so far this training camp.
He's a guy who, it may take some time. It may not be this year. It may be a dud of a pick, but with your last pick in the draft, why not? Maybe he gets going and more integrated in the second half of the season. Yeah. That's normally when it is for the rookie wide receivers after the bye week. That's normally when they start to take off. So
no worries. The Giants are going to have offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year this season.
No worries. No one worry about it.
We're going to be the best team in the league and win the Super Bowl. That's it. It's just that simple. All right. Next up, we'll go with the Dallas Cowboys. Chris, you want to start us off?
Yeah, Brandon Cooks.
Same here.
Nice. Yeah. Did we all go Brandon Cooks?
I thought about him, but I went CeeDee Lamb. I think he is the wide receiver 1 upside.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
my guy.
If you get him at the end of the 1st round, I think if you have one of those picks like 10, 11, 12, even a little higher if you really want, you could draft him and he could be the wide receiver 1. So,
yeah. What about you? You have Brandon Cooks as well?
I also want Brandon Cooks. So, I mean, getting him at 95 is for a bona fide. I wouldn't say
it's crazy.
He's really good.
He's currently ranked as the wide receiver 41, and I didn't realize some of this. I kind of started to think this offseason that maybe Brandon Cooks was a little bit washed. And then I actually went through all of the advanced statistics and stuff like that. So I spoke about a stat before, catch percentage. 68.8% of the targets towards Brandon Cooks were actually catchable. Outside of that, he was 10th in contested catch rate, 13th in target separation, and top 20 in win rate versus man coverage. That's Brandon Cooks. Nothing has changed. He's still one of the better wide receivers in the entirety of the league. Kind of terrifies me because he's a Dallas Cowboy. But him and CeeDee Lamb, especially because no pressure's on him now.
No.
You're not the number 1. You are the number 2, clear-cut number 2 now. So, and Dak Prescott will probably be throwing the ball a bunch, and Brandon Cooks will be targeted probably 100 times. I'm definitely all in on Brandon Cooks there. So I think that's pretty clear. I would like to think Dak is better than Davis Mills. You'd have to assume, right?
I would hope.
But yeah, for a guy that late, it's absolutely worth it. So, all right. Next up, we'll go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Trunks, go ahead, start us off.
I took Rashad Penny.
I did as well.
Over here. He has an ADP on Sleeper of 102, getting drafted as the 38th running back.
36th.
36.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
right. 36th running back on
36 running back. He's playing behind DeAndre Swift, but DeAndre Swift has proven that he can never stay healthy.
Don't talk about health with Penny, though.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, that's
I know.
a bad argument.
It's a bad
It's
argument.
a bad argument, Trunks.
It is a bad
Do
argument.
not talk
But-
health with Rashad Penny.
But I think where he's getting drafted, it's worth taking the risk on him, even though he has a bad injury history.
But yeah, I also pick Rashad Penny. When healthy, when on the field, he's one of the most efficient backs actually in NFL history, but he's just never on the field. So, like, it's kind of the issue. Behind one of the best offensive lines in all of football, I still expect him to get some sort of goal line work, even though Jalen Hurts has a tendency to steal that from running backs. But yeah, I mean, Swift will have the passing game work. I like both of them at their current ADPs, to be completely honest. And then I feel indifferent about the wide receivers. I think they're both ranked relatively properly. Maybe Devontae Smith is a little too high.
Dallas Goedert also.
That one I've kind of
Dallas Goedert.
That's actually my
about
player
him.
to go with is Devontae Smith.
really.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead, give your reasoning.
I mean, it's the 2 years he's been in the league, he's just been getting better and better. And simple enough, Jalen Hurts is also getting better and better. AJ Brown, the team around them just getting better and better. So it's hard not to see him progress with everyone else, just
That's
getting
fair.
better and better.
He's currently going as I think the wide receiver 12, or something close to that, which I just thought was a little too high. Like I just thought that was very high for Devontae Smith, but his talent lends to be that. One more team, that is the Washington Commanders.
Ooh.
I'm just wondering, did you take your boy?
I took everyone. This is another same thing as the Seahawks. I'm taking everyone.
I don't know how I feel about the Gibson Brian Robinson.
I think
situation.
Gibson is a steal.
I agree with
Gibson is a steal.
you. He is.
He's
You
getting the
draft him in
passing
the-
game work right now.
You draft him in the 9th round. That's a steal for your 0 RB teams. Anytime I do a 0 RB mock draft, I'm drafting the shit out of Antonio Gibson.
My boy.
Drafting him so hard. I think
You have him, don't you?
I think Terry McLaurin's going a little
Your
bit too low.
shit running
That's
back
where I
depth.
have him at 49. I think it's just crazy. He has wide receiver 1 potential, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, Terry
Yeah.
McLaurin's going as the wide receiver 21 on
Yeah,
Sleeper.
and Jahan Dotson's currently going as the wide receiver 38, and he was actually my pick. I picked Jahan Dotson with an average ADP of 85.0. He was filthy as a rookie. He obviously had a ton of touchdowns. I don't expect that rate, at least with how many catches he had, to continue, but I do expect him to get targeted a bunch more, especially because he's the undisputed number 2 in this offense. And in some games, he will be the number 1 potentially. But yeah, I mean, Terry McLaurin takes all the pressure off of him. He's one of the better route runners in the league already, and it's his 2nd season. I love Jahan Dotson. I think he's going to be a great player. I'm betting on the talent here more so than anything else.
And even Sam Howell, bro. Your last pick in the draft. Want to, take a flyer on a quarterback? Draft him. Why not? He's been lighting up training camp, Sam Howell. There's been nothing but good. And I know it's just training camp, but there's been nothing but good reports
Yeah.
about what Sam Howell has been doing at training camp.